Welcome to another edition of Litter Media Live for this Tuesday, May 20th of 2025. I'm Dan Ramey. He's Mike Smith, the icon, and Mr. Hand to the relaxed Aaron Glandon. Wait till he gets married. He won't be relaxed. I'm just trying to picture what that week before he gets married is going to look like.
Yep.
He'll be sitting over here with a cigarette or something like that. It'll look like he's in a 60 Minutes interview. He's calm, cool, and collected right now, though.
Yeah.
Yes. Hi. Coming up in a moment, news, sports, this date in history. But first, a look at our forecast. It's raining.
It was absolutely beautiful yesterday.
It was.
But the Lord must think we need rain because we're going to get it for the next few days. Rain likely today through Thursday and much cooler. If you haven't noticed this, you'll need a jacket not only to stay dry but to stay warm. We're looking for highs in the low to mid 60s through that period, actually that goes through the end of the week, even when the rain clears out on Friday and Saturday.
All right. If you've got plans outdoors, it might be a little damp, so just be cautious as you're out and about. But life does go on, so keep going. Coming up in a moment to look at what's making news for us today. But first, let's tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. You can find them by calling 740-253-8389 or go to littermedia.com and click on this ad anywhere you see it. It takes you to their Facebook page for up-to-minute information that they have to share. From Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Sometimes you need to hear the conversations off the, well, maybe you shouldn't, but I was last week at Circleville Elementary School with Kurt Ludlow from Good Morning Columbus, or whatever the name of the show is these days. He will do a Facebook Live, and you'll see everything going on behind the scenes, and he'll talk right directly to those following. And I said, you know, that's kind of dangerous. He says, oh, believe me, I've had to get, everyone's aware, but if they're unaware, it becomes interesting.
I've seen some of them where his colleague, a lady, is eating a sandwich right before airtime and fixing her hair, and, you know.
And then, boom, showtime, ready to go. Well, coming up here momentarily, we'll tell you what's making news. But first, where you can find some of this news is on our website, littermedia.com. You'll find social media contact information up in the right-hand corner, as you see on the screen in front of you here. And the reason we put all that together is we don't always put all of our news stories on our website. So you can find us on all different platforms. Find everything you need to know at littermedia.com.
I want to say thanks to Adena High School. They invited my brother Mark, Dr. Mark Smith. He's in the lower right-hand corner if you're watching this.
He does look much more scholarly.
Oh, doesn't he? The beard is the giveaway, yeah. I'm not mature enough to grow a beard.
Well, he's got that elder look because of the gray with the beard.
Yeah.
So
he graduated from Adena in 1973 and, of course, went on to get his doctorate and taught college. And I'm just a high school graduate of Adena from 1978, and that's kind of what the The theme was that there's different careers that require different types of education. Some go to college, some don't. And we also talked about some of our early failures not being fatal. So we want to thank the school for having a couple of old-timers there to talk about their years and some of the fond memories of teachers that we had back in the day.
At any point in time, did you fall into Smothers Brothers and say, Mom always liked you best?
No, we didn't do that. We do that around the house a lot, but didn't do that there. Project School Tools of Ross County will benefit from a portion of the sales today at First Capital Nutrition, which is located at 80 North Paint Street in Chillicothe. And then a second fundraiser for Project School Tools of Ross County will be held at Raising Cane's, also in Chillicothe, but that is going to be on May the 28th from 4 to 9 p.m.
A week ago yesterday, we were telling you about the Tourism Awards and some of the information that was coming out in regards to tourism. It continues to be a driving force here in Ross County, delivering real value to both the local economy and quality of life for residents. According to the latest data from a study conducted by Tourism Economics, visitor spending here in Ross County generated an impressive $155 million in direct sales, supporting 2,072 jobs, equivalent to 7.5% of all local employment, and saved each household approximately $608 annually in taxes. So when people from outside the community come here to see and enjoy things like Tecumseh or the Ross County Fair, and anything that you come and you spend some time in a hotel room, or you buy something in the stores, or you buy a meal at a restaurant, those monies go right back into what we're enjoying now in that regards.
Yeah.
Anything that helps lower the taxes, I'm for.
Yeah, that's sales tax. When you have visitors, it helps those who live here. We were talking earlier in the weather about how cool it's going to be. Well, that's apparently not going to stop the Chillicothe City Pool from opening this coming Saturday, May the 24th, with its annual run. Monday through Saturday pool hours are noon to 7. Sunday's always 1 to 7 p.m., and I'm blocked by the camera. What's the cost this year?
$6 per person, ages 3 and up, and 2 and under, you get to enter for free. Probably because you're still learning how to swim.
And you can get season passes. They're available if you wanted to go that route.
Yes, for a family, it's $500, and he left it too soon. $150 for an individual. So if you want to find out more details, you can contact the City Parks and Recreation at 740-772-5626 for more details.
I just thought of a slogan or a name that they could use for the season where flying, you're a frequent flyer. You could make this a frequent flipper. Go on to the next one.
Do we have a rim shot button on there?
Yeah, we can't remember where it is.
Yeah.
Frequent flipper.
Let's see. Let's pull this up here.
Oh, you can applaud too.
You received it.
Yeah, that's the game preview.
There we go. That's what Michael's shooting for.
Frequent flipper. Yeah, let's go ahead. I'll have to call the mayor and see if that'll work. Or Clint Bogg, yeah.
Off the high dive.
Yeah.
The Parks and Recreation director is probably who you need to talk to,
Yeah.
Bill Bonner.
Yeah.
All right. The Ross County Community Action Commission Summer Food Program is now open for registration. They provide free lunches at various locations throughout Ross County, and there's a link that you can click on for pre-registering. You can find that also by going to surveymonkey.com/r/summerfood25.
And we have a website story on that, too, that has that link. Now, here's a correction. They put out their brochures for the Deer Creek Dam Days Festival about a tree planting, and the correction is that the tree planting ceremony on May the 31st will be at 1 p.m., not 11 a.m., as was posted originally in their brochure. So if you're going out for that, make sure you go at 1, not 11, expecting the tree planting at the wrong time.
I don't know anyone who doesn't like the Chillicothe trolley. You can take the trolley through downtown, especially on the weekends, but you can take it to the Feast of the Flowering Moon, which is this weekend. A special neighborhood route will run Friday, and Saturday. May 23rd, that's a Saturday, from 1 until 8:30 p.m., and Saturday, May 24th, between 10 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. And I believe it goes by the pool, or it does go through Yonctangy Park.
Yeah.
I do know that. So I suppose when the pool opens, you can start taking the trolley as well.
We were driving through town the other day, and I think my wife saw it for the first time. She said, "Oh, there's the trolley." It's like, let me catch up to it.
And suddenly it was Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
Yeah. So, yeah, take that. Have you been on the trolley as it's not just sitting still, but actually driving?
I've not been on it while it's in operation. I was there for its launch, and so I did get an opportunity to at least see its first voyage.
Maybe we should do the show, record the show at least sometime on the trolley with the wind blowing through our hair and the whole thing. Yeah.
Well, if I get one of my microphones back, we could do it live.
Never mind.
I've lost
That's
a
that
microphone.
off the air, that conversation we were having. Right. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost yesterday recognizing the upcoming National Missing Children's Day, which is annually on May the 25th. Yesterday put out the 2024 numbers for Ohio missing children due to the Clearinghouse report. Now, here's some of the numbers from last year. According to the report, 21,342 people were reported missing in Ohio. Now, the good news is that's 1,000 less than the year before. Of the total, 16,404 were missing children, 1,000 fewer than the year before. Encouragingly, 96.5% of the reported missing children were recovered safely by year's end, but tragically, 3 children were found deceased.
This is not in your notes, but I can tell you that there is a new video up on our YouTube channel right now, actually 2 of them. An interview we had earlier today with our friend Brian Grigsby with the latest update on what's happening with Gus Macker, which will take place next weekend. And also, this past Friday, I had a visit with the Waverly City Schools Superintendent Bill Hoover and Chief John Winfield from the Waverly Police Department. He is being recognized for helping to institute the DARE program through Waverly Police Department in Waverly City Schools. And so we had a nice conversation. We were on the platform where they were getting ready to do the commencement for Waverly City Schools this past Sunday is when that was. But that has been produced. I visited yesterday with Eric Balling, and he is the DARE officer. I'll have a package for him coming out later in the week. But it was fun yesterday going around following the kids and the officer in action. And he took them. He says, "You want me to go on the slide?" Yeah. They all, a bunch of, I think it was kindergartners who were on the playground at the time. And I mean, they're giving him hugs and everything. And he hopped up on, but I was a distraction because I can't tell you how many kids said, "What are you doing? What is that thing?"
What's that?
And I said, "Well, I'm videotaping your DARE officer." Why? So we could talk about the program.
Now, you're a Sunday school teacher. You should be used to all of these whys and what are you doing?
Yes, and a grandparent of a kindergartner. And so we've got those conversations. But having them hit you all at once in mass, it was
now you know with the
awesome.
presidential press conference where everybody's screaming their questions at the same time. One at a time. Yeah. Our road report stays in Ross County today. A bridge replacement project on County Road 222 in Ross County between Blacksmith Hill Road and Concord Church Road. Now, this project's already underway, and completion is the fall of 2026, a year from this fall.
All right, coming up in a moment, sports. We'll give you a recap of some of the spring sports that's going on. There's tournament action at this point in time, plus a new leader at Circleville City Schools. All that and more coming up in just a moment. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is your trusted comfort advisor. They have been for nearly 50 years now. If you'd like to find out what they do, what services they provide, where they are, you'll find it all when you click on this ad at littermedia.com. It'll take you right to their website, accuratehvac.com.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app. to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today. Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe, continues with their spring sales event. You can't mow today because it's raining, so why not just head on over to Hometown Motors and check out these great deals they have. New riding tractors starting at $1699.99. New zero-turn mowers starting at $3399.99. New walk-behind starting at $399.99. New chainsaw starting at $279.99. Also new trimmers starting at $229.99. And new blowers starting at $199.99. Hurry in to get the best selection because they keep going off the floor and off the shelves. I've noticed that when I've stopped in. At Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe. Hometown Motors, your store for the outdoors. Time for sports.
And we're starting with tennis. Maddox Arledge and Mason Wolf became the fourth doubles team in Logan Elm boys tennis history to qualify for the OHSAA state tournament. They defeated their own Logan Elm teammates, Zach Spies and Greg Maughan, in the district championship. So congratulations to those fellows. We've not yet gotten any information about the singles champion. We do know that last year's rep, Carson Nybert of Waverly, lost. So we're still trying to find out, and it's possible the singles are being held today. I don't know the answer. All that's taking place over at Ohio University.
Paul Boggs usually keeps us up to date on some of that stuff as far as tennis is concerned. Scores from yesterday you'll find on our scoreboard at littermedia.com. Baseball Division IV District Opening Round. Logan Elm picked up a win over the Blue Lions in Washington. Also McLean advances with an 11-1 win over Vinton County. That was in 5 innings. Regular season games, Unioto beat Valley, Lancaster over Circleville, Sheridan takes Westfall, Miami Trace over Carroll, and Bloom Carroll over Pickerington North. And on the softball side of things, it was, how many touchdowns is that? 7 touchdowns?
I had to double check on this. Yeah.
Lancaster 40, Reynoldsburg 0. You couldn't get me out of there fast enough if I was a Reynoldsburg Raider fan yesterday. 5 innings in that one. That's in the district semifinal for Division I. D3 district semi. By the way, Reynoldsburg's done this to everybody in basketball.
Sure,
so I'm just throwing that out there. Sheridan nips Chillicothe 1-0. Cavaliers had a couple of players on base and scoring opportunity, nobody out, and then things kind of fell apart. Defense was pretty good by Sheridan. So congratulations to Chillicothe. I think they finished 17-7.
Yeah, great.
Which
record.
was one more win than they had last year. Dover, a winner over New Philadelphia. That was in 12 innings. And Bloom Carroll, a winner over DeSales, 12-0. Division 5 district semis over at OU. Wheelersburg rolls, beating Rock Hill. Adena over Meigs. That's a big win for the Adena Warriors, 12-5. Liberty Union, defending state champion, a winner over Afrocentric, 27-0. And again, Afrocentric's done this to teams in basketball. Division 7 district semis over at Rio Grande. Western, it came to an end yesterday. Man, they had a nice little ride, but Sims Valley is pretty good. 15-0, the winner there for Sims Valley. Eastern Meigs, a winner over Manchester. Fisher Catholic takes Millersport. And Logan Elm blanks Zane Trace in a regular season makeup game for softball.
There's new leadership in the Circleville High School athletic department. It's going to be longtime Tiger Jason Wells. There's a video that Jason put out on Facebook, and he talks about being a Tiger. He says, I bleed black and red 35 years. Well, he is the new athletic director at Circleville. Congratulations to Jason.
I need to see this hallway. I've not seen this hallway.
You know, I was looking at, because we were in there for basketball,
Right.
both of us last year, and I don't recall seeing that.
Yeah,
unless we just walked right by it and didn't notice it.
And maybe it's new.
Well, that could be too.
Or it might be in a different part of the building as well. But congratulations to Jason, and he's got a new football coach he has to control.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jay Sherritt.
Yeah. Pickerington fame.
Yes. State champion guy. All right, good luck to the Tigers this football season. Reds were winners yesterday, 5 straight now. There's De La Cruz. They picked up, it was 2-1 and 4-1. And next thing you know, it was 6-1 and 7-1 finally. But I think they scored 5 runs in the top of the 9th inning. And the Pirates are just,
they're bad.
They're not having a good season at all. In fact, the Pirates fans were the loudest ones booing in that 9th inning. Wow. It was not a pretty sight. So the Reds and Pirates go at it again today, and they'll try and win their 6th straight and maybe sweep the series. Wouldn't that be awesome? And the Guardians and Twins were rained out last night, and they will play again this evening, or try to anyway.
Yep. And that's like a 9:10 start our time. I noticed they're playing tomorrow at 1:10. I don't know if that would be the first of a doubleheader to make up that game last night. From what I was looking at, it didn't really detail that. So.
Now, the Twins used to have a dome, but now when they built the new stadium, they decided not to put a roof on it.
Right.
So, because it's not going to snow in Minnesota.
Yeah. Yeah, let me tell you.
I remember when Dan Jr., we found out he would be at Grand Forks Air Force Base in North Dakota. And I looked it up. I'm doing my research, and it said measurable snowfall from September to May.
Yeah.
Measurable snowfall.
And that's I'm glad I'm not in Minnesota.
Amen to that. All right, coming up in just a moment, this date in history, and it's a military story.
And a local story that was actually yesterday, but because we weren't here, we're going to talk about it today.
All right. That's coming up.
A reminder that 92 years of serving propane users in southern and central Ohio, reliable supply, reliable service, reliable people, Litter Quality Propane.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Time now for This Date in History.
I was in a conversation at lunch yesterday about plane crashes in our area. And I was talking about this next story, which is our recollection, because I saw this happen. I was in second grade at Frankfort Elementary when this plane crashed into a field just a mile north of that location. And I was trying to remember some of the details of it to tell this fellow about, so I Googled it, And when I looked at it, I thought, oh my gosh, that's today's date, which was yesterday. May 19th of 1967, a Convair F-106A Delta Dart crashed into a farm field a mile north of Frankfurt, just 22 minutes into flight out of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. The jet lost control after reaching an altitude of 28,000 feet. This gentleman that you see in the lower left-hand picture, the pilot, Test Pilot Major George W. Goodwin III, he was 33 years old, perished in the crash. Some eyewitnesses claim the jet was on fire before it plunged into the ground. The jet burrowed into the ground at a 45-degree angle, and you can see the hole. This, by the way, these photos are from the Chillicothe Gazette from that time. The crater was 100 feet long, 40 feet wide, and 25 feet deep, while plane parts were scattered over a 3/4 of a mile radius of that wheat field. The bulk of the aircraft was left in the ground and just covered up. In addition to the story, the pilot, who was originally scheduled to fly that day but could not, lived across the street from Newman and Gloria Rutherford, who at that time lived in Humard Heights. Now, for everybody that has lived in the Frankfort-Clarksburg area, you know Newman and Gloria Rutherford. A year or two later, they moved to Frankfort and opened an IGA store. But the guy that was supposed to be on that flight and couldn't fly that day was their neighbor. What are the odds of that? What are the odds of that?
1 in a billion.
Yeah.
Or at that time might have been 4 billion.
But how many times in life have we heard stories of you were supposed to be someplace and for whatever reason you couldn't be, and maybe your life was spared? Of course, for this unfortunate George Goodwin, his fate was just the opposite. He had to take somebody's place, and he lost his life.
I've often thought about that. Frustrated because you couldn't get started in your car for whatever reason. You forgot something, you went back to get it, and then you come up on an accident that just happened, or you heard about one that happened right behind you.
Right.
Tell me there's not guardian angels watching out for us.
A lot of time.
I'm sure a lot of those things happen on a regular basis. All right, we've got another special edition coming your way here shortly with Jeremiah Johnson from the Southern Ohio Forest Rally. It's going to be here before you know it. And it's scheduled, I think, for the weekend of the 15th. I believe it is. He'll let us know for sure. Now, Jeremiah also works in cybersecurity. So I asked him when he gave a presentation to our local banking systems here, we need to talk about this at some point in time. So we decided to knock two birds with one stone. So after we finish up with the Southern Ohio Forest Rally, we'll present another special edition here on Litter Media. So for Mike Smith, Aaron Glandon, I'm Dan Ramey. I'll not be here tomorrow. Miss Amelia is graduating kindergarten.
Congratulations.
So we're going to go check that out. That'll be tomorrow morning. A big day in the Ramey family when a Ramey graduates. All right, that's it for the program. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon on Litter Media.